Hi and welcome to Best in Tesla. So in this video I would like to talk a little bit about Tesla's AI robot, because I really don't think many people are getting this and are focusing on the wrong things, because Tesla is laser focused on making the end game product for both robotics and AI. The implications of this cannot really be underscored enough. And if you see people comparing them to Boston Dynamics, you know you are talking with a person that did not understand what he saw at AI Day 2, or what Boston Dynamics is for that matter, and what Tesla is trying to do. Tesla is making their 4680 battery cell version of a robot. Firstly, it will be a useful robot that can be produced in high volume and is easy to manufacture and affordable. No one, and I mean absolutely no one else, is even trying to make this kind of robot right now. So let me try to give you my perspective on this robot Tesla will build and why I think Tesla is in the best position to make this happen. And let's dive right in. So a lot of people are comparing Tesla's robot to what Boston Dynamics can do with their robots. But people who do this really don't understand what Tesla just showed at their AI Day, or don't even understand what Boston Dynamics is as well. Yes, Boston Dynamics has been doing this for 10 years. Actually, they have been working on the robots for 30 years. They were founded back in 1992, and people are using this against Tesla. The most advanced company in robots has been doing this for decades. But I would say, yes, they have been doing this for decades. But what do they have to show for it? A backflipping robot. No wonder they are not making any money, as they are not making a useful robot, like the robot dog Spot, which is Boston Dynamics' cheapest robot and the most useful, and cost about $75,000 and can hardly do anything. Yes, SpaceX use it to check the side of a rocket that has blown up, so they send in a little dog to check it out because it has cameras. Don't know why they just use a drone that cost a couple of $1,000s, but anyway. But that is the use case, right? But that is the only thing the robot can do. It can be fitted with a robot hand, but seeing it trying to open a door, dragging a brick, only show you how much easier this task would be for an actual humanoid robot that would be made to fit into the world of men. But Boston Dynamics is not the only company that is making futuristic robots. Chinese firm Unitree Robotics has also been at it for years, and they have the Unitree Go 1, a robust little four-legged robot that's remarkably cheap, with prices starting at $2,700 compared to Boston Dynamics' $75,000 robot dog. But again, the only thing they are showing the everyday consumer is, look, it can carry your water bottle for you. That makes it a very expensive robot to hold a water bottle. Not a very useful robot. And the same thing goes for Boston Dynamics. They have cool robots that can do some very cool things. I love watching them make their robots backflip and do parkour or dance or whatever. And we need to give them credit for what they have been able to do, for sure. I am not hating on Boston Dynamics, just trying to explain why comparing them to what Tesla want to do is just stupid. Because tell me one thing I can use the $47,000 robot dog for. Yes, exactly. Nothing. I have no use case for that robot dog. What about the back-flipping robot? What can I use that for? Yes, exactly. nothing. They are cool looking robots, but they are not useful in any way for me as an everyday consumer. So Boston Dynamics has nothing to sell me after 30 years at it. No wonder they had to raise money back in 2019 when they raised $37 million. Yes, they still need to raise money 27 years after they were founded. That would be equivalent if Tesla would need to raise money in 2029. Yes, that will not be the case. So Boston Dynamics is really not going anywhere. They have been owned by Google and SoftBank and now Hyundai. But nothing has changed. They are not really earning any money, so they don't really have the capital to do much. They make about $27 million annually. So Tesla will earn almost 3,000 times more in revenue here in 2022 than Boston Dynamics. So I have nothing against Boston Dynamics. I think what they're developing is very cool robots, but to compare them to what Tesla wants to do is just ridiculous. If you see people comparing them to Boston Dynamics, you know you're talking to a person that did not understand what he just saw at AI Day 2. Because Tesla is not trying to build 20 different robots, one as a dog, a one-wheeler, and one that can backflip, and so many others. Tesla is going for the end game and nothing else, both in robotics and in software with AGI. They are going for a robot that can do useful things. Elon said it many times during the AI Day presentation. We will teach it useful things.
Our goal is to make a useful humanoid robot as quickly as possible.
And they designed into the robot that it should be easy to produce and will be affordable. This is a very different approach than what everyone else is doing. I really see this as the same approach as Tesla took with their 4680 battery cell. They had worked on the battery cell for much longer when they revealed that on Battery Day than what Tesla has done on robots when they revealed their robot on AI Day. But what Tesla revealed at Battery Day was a battery that was pretty much better than any other battery in production. But that was not the most important thing about that battery. Nice that it was good and 54% better battery, but the most important thing was it was 56% cheaper to produce. And Tesla has designed into the battery that it should be possible to mass produce this battery like no one else. They reinvented how they make a battery because, as I have said many times before, a solid-state battery that can go for 10,000 miles on one charge and can charge up in just 1 minute is irrelevant if it costs $1 million to put in your car. It would practically be useless, even though it would be the world's best battery, but useless. Just like Boston Dynamics robots that can do flippity flops and is probably the most advanced robot on the planet. Both because it's a very expensive robot. The little dog costs $75,000, so the big flippity flopping robot Atlas probably cost, I don't know, $250,000 or $500,000. But the robot is even worse than the solid-state battery that cost $1 million, because this robot is really useless. But the battery would be a useful battery, but the price makes it useless. But the backflipping robot is just useless, and it cost a lot of money and are not easy or cheap to produce. So Tesla is doing the same thing again here with the robot as they did with the battery. They will firstly be laser focused on making one kind of battery, the human-like robot that down the road will be able to do everything you can do, just better.
I can do anything better than you.
That will be the world's most useful robot. So that is of course nice, but most importantly, Tesla is designing it to be easy and cheap to produce. So unlike Boston Dynamics that has only sold 400 spot robots, Tesla will be able to make millions of these robots every year. And me, the end consumer, will be able to afford it. It will probably end up costing about half what I paid for my Tesla Model 3. And that can only drive me places. This robot is going to be so much more useful, but half the price. This is a true game changer of a product. And to believe that Tesla will sit in 30 years with a useless party trick robot that cost $500,000 to build like Boston Dynamic is just laughable. What Tesla is doing cannot be compared to Boston Dynamic. Two very different things and two very different companies. And I do think the timing is right, because we do see all these great robots popping up all over the place, and why many will say Tesla's robot is nothing special. True right now, and we do see AI presentations all the time of AI doing incredible things like OpenAI's GP3 or Google's AI. And remember, OpenAI was founded by Elon Musk as well. And Google is actually trying to play around with putting their AI brain into a robot. So all of this just shows me the timing is about right to start working on this now. As we also saw with the iPhone and Google phone back in 2007, both came out that year because that was the time the technology was ready for it. So we are seeing the technology starting to be ready for them to work on a robot with artificial brain. And Tesla is going to accelerate, in my opinion, making the robot brain. And that is, after all, the most important thing when we are talking about a useful humanoid robot. Without an artificial brain, it is just a dumb robot, like the ones from Boston Dynamics that can't do anything else but what it is told to do. A party trick, pretty much. It needs to be programmed to do things, where Tesla is aiming for a bot you can just tell what to do, like empty the dishwasher, and the bot will know what that means and start empty your dishwasher, while Boston Dynamics will do another backflip. And this, I think, will go much faster than people think, because Tesla already have the architecture ready with the full self-driving software that has been taught about the world, as they showed at AI Day. So it already knows what a person is, what a dog is, what a cyclist is, what a car is, what a truck is, what a motorbike is, and so on and so on and so on. And as Hallmark's catalog has shown us with the 69.2.2 beta software, it can already take him from parking lot to parking lot through the big cities for 2 hours with 0 interventions. As he wrote, that is becoming very normal. So Tesla is already on the stage of a dumb human driving. So if you know about how AI learns, you know it is just about to become superhuman very soon and will keep on going. And they can take most of that brain and put it in a robot and teach it new useful tricks. And Tesla, unlike Boston Dynamic, has the money to make this happen. If they expect to be able to make this robot for as little as $20,000, what do you think the prototype are costing Tesla to build right now? The version 2 that they are building with only Tesla's own parts. And even though the version 2 couldn't walk, they already have a version 2. And in a couple of weeks it should be able to walk as well. And look at that thing. That already looks like something I would buy. Now they just need it to learn a lot of stuff. But anyway, what does it cost Tesla to build a robot like that? I don't know, 50,000 in materials, maybe 100,000? Let's just say 100,000 for now. So if Tesla builds 1,000 robots that cost $100,000, that would only cost Tesla $100 million. That would just look like a rounding error on their bank account. Nothing Boston Dynamics can do, because they don't have $100 million. They raised $37 million in 2019, and they are now owned by Hyundai, which might have $120 billion in revenue a year, but last year they only made less than $600 million in net profit and have about $88 billion in long-term debt. Tesla has pretty much no debt and is earning billions of dollars every single quarter in net profit. So $100 million for Tesla is nothing. And then they could have 1,000 robots that they teach to do just one thing. Just one thing. But like Tesla's full self-driving fleet of cars, when one car learns some things, Tesla just make an over-the-air update and boom, all 3 million cars on the road can now do a new trick. And the same thing will of course be true for the robots they are building. So 1,000 robots that are learning just one thing mean that Tesla's robot can do 1,000 useful things. This could go really fast, because like Tesla's full self-driving fleet of cars collecting data, Tesla will have a fleet of robots collecting data learning new things that it can share with all the other robots. It is even built with Tesla's own full self-driving hardware. And on top of this, Tesla has some incredible simulation engines, as they just showed at AI Day. They use it for the full self-driving AI. And it would take 2 weeks to create an intersection or whatever in the simulation. But now Tesla software can do it in 5 minutes and with no human involved. That is freaking amazing. And the AI brain of the robot can of course also use this simulation and learn more things in there. It can do over and over and over and over and over again for 1,000,000 times, and then they can make an over-the-air update and get that to the robots, and now it knows even more. I think Tesla has all the right ingredients and the brain power at the company and the capital to make this happen very, very fast. It will not take 30 years to come up with a useful robot that can learn even more down the road with an over-the-air update. Elon thinks in 3 to 4 years we can buy one, so let's put an Elon buffer on that and say about 2030. But still, just let that one sink in for a moment. A useful humanoid robot for someone like me to buy in 2030 for maybe $30,000. That will be an absolute game changer. And because no one else is taking this approach with focusing on only one kind of robot, the end game robot, the robot to rule them all, the humanoid robot with artificial general intelligence as a brain that can be updated over the air, with volume production and affordability designed into the robot. No one else is even working on this. And with Tesla's speed of innovation, I think no one will be able to keep up with this. So no, on the surface, Tesla's robot might seem unwhelming, but Tesla has just started on this project and has already a working prototype that the haters didn't believe they would have in 2022, as Elon said they would at last AI Day. But again, the haters were proved wrong. And I know many will say it will never happen, but remember, they said the same thing about Model Y. It was vaporware. And they said the same thing about the Tesla's 4680 sales. It would never happen. It's just a stock pump. And today, the Model Y is one of the best-selling cars in the world, and some of them are driving around with Tesla's homemade 4680 cell. So history repeats itself. The haters and short sellers were wrong again, and they have been wrong for a decade, so why would we trust them now? They have no track record that makes me trust them just a little bit. I think I will just try to do the thinking for myself. And I would not like to bet against the guy that made reusable rockets that the haters also said would never happen, it was impossible, and pretty much owns the rocket industry today, that has also made a global internet covering the entire planet, and betting against the company that made the Plaid Model S, that gave the hardcore smackdown to the ICE car, that has ruled the car industry for a century. And again, the people that are saying, Elon Musk, let the robot companies do their thing. Just focus on your cars, because the real robot companies are much better at it. That is probably the most stupid thing you can say. So why should Tesla has been starting producing cars in the first place? The old legacy automakers are much better at it. Yes, they were, but now Volkswagen is trying to get to Tesla's production speed of 10 hours per Model 3 in 2026 because it takes Volkswagen 30 hours to build their much inferior ID.3. And Tesla has completely reinvented how we produce a car that makes them faster to build, more affordable and better quality, and can make innovation on a daily basis at practically zero cost. So they outperformed the car manufacturer in manufacturing a car. So a good thing they did that. Tesla should not make batteries. The battery manufacturer is much better at it. Well, now Tesla has a battery that can be produced at much higher volume on a much smaller footprint for less money than any other battery manufacturer on the planet. They are outperforming the battery manufacturer in manufacturing a battery. So a good thing they did that. And they did the same thing with computer chips. What Nvidia had was not good enough, so they hired a former Apple chip designer, and 3 years later they had the most powerful full self-driving chip in the world. So a good thing they did that. So yeah, if Tesla should just let the others do what they do best, we would not be anywhere near the place we are today. We would probably hardly have any electric cars driving around today. The battery manufacturer would not all be scrambling to ramp up production as fast as possible and all be making 4680 cells. Tesla is an innovative tech company. I think we should just let Tesla do what Tesla does best, and that is disrupt industries with innovative technology. And in my opinion, Tesla is the best position to make delivery on a useful real-world AI robot. It has the dedicated team for this, only focusing on this. They have the software and the software team. They have the computer dojo to teach it. They are developing a platform to collect data. The fleet of robots collecting data, just like the full self-driving beta testers. They have the financials from Tesla. Money will not be an issue. They have the factories to do it. Tesla is a world-class manufacturer and all vertical integrated. Tesla's second version of the bot are already being built with only Tesla's own parts. No one else is in this position, having all the pieces ready to do this and the willpower and the talent. Tesla's engineers are problem solvers. Put any problem in front of them they need to solve, and you can bet your money they will solve it. Their track record shows us exactly that. With that in mind, Tesla has just begun this journey to make the end game product, an artificial, general intelligent humanoid robot, entering probably the biggest market the world will ever see.
Anything you can be, I can be greater. Sooner or later, I'm greater than you.
And thank you for watching. And until next time, take care out there and be nice.